What's up, everyone? Welcome to the King Racing Group Thursday Night Crit. This is actually week 2. I forgot my GoPros week 1, so I was second week 1 though, so I was looking to hopefully get out a win with this one. But there was some interesting stuff in the kind of last 5 laps, so just have to stay tuned for that. But anyways, there'll be a full race link in the description for anyone who wants to see the whole thing raw and unedited. But basically, my plan for this one was to I had a couple teammates to cover moves early on, and then I was hoping to attack kind of in the second half of the race and get a break. So fast forward a few laps, the action's kind of starting now. You can see there's one guy up there off the front. I knew from previous races that he was pretty strong. So here I squeezed through this little gap here and then attack to bridge up to him. I know this is early, but I'm hoping that a couple people go with me. Maybe we get some separation, and then we can get an early move. And if it's the right combination of guys, then you never know. You could do pretty much the whole race off the front in a break, and I don't have an amazing sprint, so that's obviously the best case scenario for me as being in a small group. See, I come straight around him, trying to keep the speed high in case we have a gap. Switch to the back camera here. Come around this corner, and you can see we do have a gap. It's not massive, but it's there. I try to get this guy to come around, but he's not going very hard. You can tell he's basically just soft pedaling. So this break is looking kind of doomed already. But you know, sometimes it's good to get the legs going and test out how the race is playing out. You can see that guy just caught us, and there's the rest of the field right there too. So that was pretty short-lived, but now I'm just going to go back into the race, kind of sit in, recover, and wait for the next move. Here we are around the halfway point, so this is where I normally like to start kind of attacking and doing things. Now that we're a bit later, guys are more tired. See this Bikes Plus in front of me starts to move up. He looks like he's about to attack. I follow him, but he ends up sitting up, so in the end I just gained some position there, but I think there might even be one guy off the front now. Yeah, there he is on the right-hand side of the screen. But we come through this corner. There's a teammate of mine on the left. He was just covering some moves. We're soft pedaling, but you'll see eventually on the left someone will attack. There she goes, and then this Bikes Plus guy follows it. He was looking pretty antsy, so my teammate starts to jump on him. I jump on my teammate. I think he was just covering some moves though, so he was kind of tired. So when she kind of lets the gap go, he doesn't really follow, which is totally okay. So I see the chance. I jump right here. Pretty big attack, hit 750 watts. That's high for me. So you can see I already have a gap going in this corner. I catch up to them. It's 2 people from the same team. I just basically attack again to come around them. Since we have a gap, I'm trying to get them to get on my wheel. This guy hops on. I think the other one tries to. Yeah, he gets on too. Here we are coming around turn 1 here. It's a pretty good spot for me to be attacking. Now he's just soft pedaling, doing nothing, and that's kind of important. You'll see later on what happens in the last 5 laps with the same guy, but he sits up, the pack catches us, another guy attacks Ryan Chrissy up the road, but he sits up pretty shortly and things ease off again. Here we are, 3.5 laps to go. The race has been pretty chill from the last point to here, nothing much going on. I'm thinking I want to get in one more attack before the end, see if I can get away. So here's kind of a lull. I attack up the inside of this dip. Bikes Plus guy follows me. Another Bikes Plus guy is getting on him, the same one from earlier who didn't want to come around. But that was a big attack. We're already hitting 34 into this section. It's fast. I'm sitting on 400 plus watts to get this gap opened up. And you can see as we kind of come around this corner that we do have a gap already. Yeah, we already have a couple second gap. So I just want to keep on the gas. The first Bikes Plus guy comes through, takes his pole, and then this guy, I don't know if, I thought at the time he was just tired, I don't know, but he wouldn't close the gap. He made me. So now I'm stuck on the front, almost doing a double turn just to close the gap that this guy left. 350-ish watts, so I'm already fairly have a hard effort for like the past minute or so. Heart rate's getting high, 185. Right as I catch this guy, he wants me to come through again, so I've been on the front for half a lap now, maybe more. So I'm like, I gotta get off the front, pull off quick. The Bikes Plus guy rolls through. There's a bit of a pull this time, still not that hard. We're in a bit of a downhill section here, so speed certainly could be higher. But you can see behind we already have a big gap. Now the next guy comes through, he's taking a solid pull this time. You can tell he's kind of going hard. As we come around this corner, we're at 2.5 laps to go now. I'm just gonna let it play all the way to the end. Again, I'm taking another really hard pull here, just trying to get the gap as big as possible, because when it's small at the start like that, it's easy for guys to chase it down and it all come back together. You've really got to get kind of out of sight, out of mind. So I pull that little stretch. I sit up here hoping this guy comes around, but now he starts cat and mousing again, I think, and letting his teammate on. Here he comes around, but it's like a very short-lived pull, like literally 2 seconds. So that didn't really help much. Back on the front again. I've been pulling like the majority of the last lap since I attacked. But at least there are some guys that they did a little bit of work, but still super hard on the gas, 350, 400 watts through here. Heart rate is still high. So I definitely deepened the effort now. There's really no turning back and setting up. We're coming into 2 laps to go. I'll be fried for the sprint, and it'll be hard to get back in good position. So I'm basically completely committed. Next Bikes Plus guy rolls through. The same guy sits on again, doesn't come to take his turn. So at this point, I'm starting to worry about what he's doing. I don't know if he's tired or if he's intentionally sitting on, what's going on, but here I come through again. I feel like I was taking much longer and harder pulls than they were, and that guy just sits up and is done. So now we're down to 2 with someone who doesn't really want to come around me and just letting me do all the work. So here I am sitting on the front. I think I'll try and get him to come around here. Yeah, you see, ease off, soft pedaling, giving the flick, looking at him. Still doesn't want to come through. Here it comes, and now he just tries to jump me, trying to get away solo. It doesn't really work. I'm on him pretty quick. He never really got much of a gap. But yeah, I guess if he wouldn't just do a regular pull, he's just trying to gap me or sit on. So certainly not the most fun way to race when you're in a 2-man break and you don't want to do any work. But it is what it is, I guess. That's racing sometimes. And anyways, back on the front. Again, kind of 300, 350 watts, somewhere in that range. Keeping the pace high. We're starting to get like a big gap now. Can't even see him around the corner yet on the rear camera. Too far out of view, so I don't really know it's that big at this point. I'm still just kind of driving it at the front, and it could still come back. And it's hard to know if they're chasing hard behind or if they've snapped and are just riding easy. So I'm staying on. Here I am, easing up again. 0 watts, still won't come through. So I just pick it back up. I knew at this point he's basically not coming through at all. There's really nothing I can do. So at this point, I'm just kind of thinking of it as a solo breakaway, trying to just stay away from the field and at least secure second and not get caught and be 30th, because we are cat and mousing for the final 2 laps. But here we are coming through the finish line, 1 lap to go. This guy who's behind me actually beat me in the bunch sprint in week 1. He won and I was second. So I knew he has a good sprint. It's better than mine. But I don't really have a choice here. I have to keep riding or risk being caught. I'm not absolutely killing myself here. I bumped it down a little bit more towards 300 watts instead of 350 to 400. But the effort's still really high, and I'm much more fatigued than he is when he's just sitting on my wheel doing nothing. But anyways, up a little hill here, just passing a lap rider. I know we'll probably have to start cat and mousing him soon. Kind of an interesting sprint because it's so short from the final corner. You really want to be going through that corner first, and it's really only like 100 meters to the line. So I want to kind of cat and mouse, but still make it to the corner first, but recover a bit. Here I ease off the effort a bit, back into 200 watts, more endurance pace before this corner. And then after this corner, I can look back now and see them coming down the previous straight, and we have a big gap. I don't know how big it is, but it's certainly close to 30 seconds, and it's big enough. So here I start easing it off, 200 watts, even less, just soft pedaling, trying to see what he'll do if he tries to jump, and then I can jump around him late. I know it's kind of a tough situation for me to be in, though, with him being the better sprinter and me having basically run the last 3.5 laps completely on the front. But we're coming up to the final quarter now, kind of a little bit to the left and then a hard right before around about 100 meters to the finish. So he obviously doesn't seem to want to come around me the corner. I'll give a little jump right here, see if I can get a bit more speed going into it. Not really, he's kind of right on me. And it's basically just a big sprint to the line. And almost 800 watts, that's super high for me, especially at the end of that effort. Go to the line, you can't really tell, but I ended up second in a photo finish. It was super close, he got me with a bike throw. There's a little podium champagne. Anyways, that was a good race. Would have liked to win, but second's not bad. Be sure to subscribe, and thanks for watching. Bye.